Hello crafters, this is Suzanne for Cat Scrappiness, and I am here today with a quick card tutorial for a beautiful card featuring a merge of two die sets from Cat's new release. And the two dies that I'll be working with is her A2 quilted backdrop die, and this is a true A2, 4¼ inch wide, 5½ inch tall, and also her fabulous stitched foliage die. So I'll be working with these two dies together to create a backdrop that is ooh la la, look at that. See all that texture. Let's jump right into it. Let me show you how to create this card, and also using one of her new word die sets. Alrighty, let's get started. So first thing, here is Cat's stitched foliage dies. There are 5 dies in the set. The tallest one is about 3½ inch. Let's say 1¼ taking into consideration the curve. Okay, so there are different sizes, but this is a great anchor for a lot of projects. So on the first one, I used this turquoise teal. This time I'm going to use coral, and I'm also going to use some foil gold cardstock from my stash. All right, now for me, you could glue this down, but I'm going to use adhesive sheets just for my sanity. It gives me edge-to-edge coverage. Okay, so I'm going to take out some adhesive sheets, and you could use any brand. I prefer this one, but that's just my preference. Now what I'm going to do, instead of using the textured side, I'm going to use the smooth side, because this has a lot going on once I merge it with the backdrop. And what you do is you take your adhesive sheet, you put it behind your cardstock, and cut a piece. Take the next one, do the same thing. I'm going to remove the adhesive sheet from the back here. Just peel, and then it becomes like a big sticker. Love it. Adhere it on, and there you go. And I'm doing the same now to the coral cardstock. There I go. Stick it on, burnish it a little bit with your hands. Flip it over. And now I'm going to use these wonderful dies and die cut a bunch of leaves. Alrighty, I'll be right back. This is also using the gold foil. That's what it looks like when it's cut out. You can tell that it's cut well. Alrighty, let me pop these out. So after die cutting all the foliage pieces in whichever colorways you want to do, I like doing it at least in 2. You could do 3 or 4 if you want, 3 or 4 different shades. Now I need to cut the panel for this one. So I just cut a piece of cardstock, 4½ inch wide, 5¾ inch tall, just to have a little bit of wiggle room with this die, okay? And what I'm going to do now, I'm going to layer all my bits. So here's the fun part. Now you get to decide the orientation. You can do it like this before you peel off the adhesive backing. And it's good to have some hanging off. You don't have to have everything on. Something like so. Don't have them touching each other though. They need to be like near each other, not necessarily overlapping, because you are going to be running it through your die cut machine. Alright crafter, so I came up with this plan so far. Let me peel off the adhesive backing, which is super easy. And in a pinch, if you don't have any adhesive sheets, yes, you can use the wet glue. Just get good enough coverage on it, okay? Because you don't want stuff lifting off. stopping right there. I have enough going on. Now, before you run this through your machine with these edges hanging off that have adhesive on it, I suggest that you trim it, because once the pressure gets on, it's going to gum up your die cutting plates, and you don't necessarily want that. So I'm going to go ahead and just do a rough trim. Keep that little bit in there, and these bits can also be, what you trim off can also be good fillers if you need it. So after you're happy with your arrangement, I do have some extra die cuts left, which I can use to make even a smaller note card. I have like 4 pieces here that I can use to make something smaller. You're going to take your quilted backdrop die and position it. Here you can see what I was doing before. And when I had cut it just a little bit larger, it was just to have enough space to do the overhang. Let me go ahead, use my previous tape. And what you're going to do now in your die cut machine, check your machine for the instructions on the machine you have. I'm going to now do embossing, dry embossing. Here is the die. There's the paper on it. Place it here. Whichever machine you're going to use, you want to use that silicone mat on top of this, okay? Turn it at an angle, not straight, turn. As much of an angle that you can put on to take off the wear and tear and stress on your machine and on your die. Then I'm going to put my embossing plate on the top and run it through. Voila, there it is. You always want the blades going up into that silicone embossing mat. It will create the impression, but not have that much force to cut all the way through. I won't have the cut edge done, but I will have that. And look at that. Now I can just take my trimmer, because here you can see the edges that you need to trim. But look at that. Now they're all happy together, and that's my card base. 2 dies working together with that beautiful quilted backdrop. Okay, crafters, so after you take your trimmer and trim those edges, look at that beautiful base. Now we're going to put this onto a A2 card base. So this is just a cover. And again, yes, I am still going back with my 110-pound cardstock, okay? And I'm going to do a top folding card. So I'm going to cut it at 4 1/4 inch on an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. Score at 5.5 inch down the middle, right here. Score it down here, down the center at 5.5 inch. Then fold that card base in half and burnish. There we go. Now we're going to put that base on the top here. Whatever little overhang you have, just trim that off, okay? After I trimmed off my edges, now I can decide, do I want it going this way or this way? I kind of like it like that. That looks more the right orientation. Your choice. You could even have the card opening up like this too if you wanted. Alrighty, crafters, so I removed the tape backing, and now I'm going to adhere this card base on the top of the note card. Use your hands to burnish, 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 burnish. Burnish just means that you're ensuring a good stick. On this card, I did take out some gold splatter, but I'm not going to splatter. Now I'm going to do the sentiment. God bless you. Super cute 2-part sentiment with the shadow. I'm going to cut the base out with this adhesive sheet on this too, to ensure that those letters come out nice and easy. I cut out the word, one of Kat's awesome word dies. She has so many good word dies. See how delicate that is? Look at that. And then I go right here. Alrighty, and I'm going to center it. Always check your orientation. Okay. I'm going to use just some of my foam. I have a lot of foam here for great dimension. Going to remove the tape backing and then adhere it onto the card. And there you go, crafters. Look at that. Now, if you want to, you can do like what I did here. I would do the splattering, whatever color splatter you're going to use before you put on the sentiment. And then if you want to, you can add a few gems. I have Kat's chocolate sprinkles. Cute. So this is actually sequin. So you could use anything to be an embellishment. You could use flat sequins like this, which is so pretty. And I like that it's a different color, so it gives it a sort of a different look. Alrighty, crafters, there you go. I think that's it. I think it looks gorgeous. So let me know below if you'll give this a chance. Remember, you have to use your embossing mat. One of these. And they'll come with all your die cut machines. If it doesn't come with your machine, then you probably have to buy it as an accessory. But it's this silicone embossing mat. That's what you use to create that magic. Alrighty, crafters. I hope you enjoyed this video. Check below for the information about these wonderful dies, the foliage die and the quilted backdrop along with the word dies, alright? And check out Cat Scrappiness the 4th of July for her site-wide sale. Mark your calendars, because you can add all of this goodness to your cart. Alrighty, crafters, until the next video, happy shopping. Stay crafty, my friends. Bye.